maiden speech, Dr. Ben Spencer.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. 7 years ago, working as a doctor on call at St Thomas's Hospital, I looked across the river at this place and I wondered what it would be like to be here. And now I know. It's actually remarkably similar to being on call, but permanently. Being a Member of Parliament is a great privilege and duty. And I'd like to thank the people of Runnymede and Weybridge for putting their trust and faith in me. I will do my all to repay that trust. I'd also like to thank the people who work on and around the parliamentary estate, who've been so welcoming and discharged their duties with dedication, diligence and resolute professionalism. I pay tribute to my predecessor, the Right Honourable Philip Hammond. Now, Philip was a phenomenal Member of Parliament. He served his country and the people of Runnymede and Weybridge for over 22 years. He held many of the highest offices of state. Now, it is also rumoured that he, like me, was a teenage goth. It's true. But I didn't dye my hair, though. But while there are some key areas which Philip and I don't agree on, most of all, he is a man of principle. And when push came to shove, he stood by his principles. And that is the measure of a man. Now, I've heard many excellent maiden speeches from both sides of this House. And Mr. Deputy Speaker, it probably won't surprise you that I've noticed a pattern. It would appear that everywhere, all over the country, is the most beautiful and pleasant place to live. Now, I want to put on record that Runnymede and Weybridge truly, truly, truly is the most beautiful and pleasant place to live. But it is also central to the history of our nation. Magna Carta was signed over 800 years ago and was the birth of the rule of law in our country and indeed the world. Parliament may be the mother of all parliaments, but Runnymede is the mother of the rule of law. When I walk through the Churchill Arches and I see the bomb damage from the Second World War, I'm reminded of Brooklands and Weybridge. In Brooklands, where the first racing track was built, later went on to become an advanced aviation factory, and they built over 2,500 Wellington bombers, 3,000 Hurricane fighters during the Second World War. So for both those reasons, quite literally, we would not be here today without the legacy of Runnymede and Weybridge. Our heritage is second to none. There are many parts of the constituency that I would celebrate today if I had more time. But what makes Runnymede and Weybridge great is the people, the warm and vibrant communities. From the famous, such as the Wentworth Estate, which holds the PGA Tour, to the not so famous, the Engelford Green Social Hall, where their Christmas performance of Beauty and the Beast pantomime was the highlight of my election campaign. But the consequence of having such vibrant communities, such flourishing Christmas fairs, is that I've now developed a tombola addiction. But I do have several sets of bath salts, some very odd fruit cordials and drinks at the back of my cupboard which I've won, which members are very welcome to have and take home to their families. We are all here on borrowed time at the grace of our constituents. So let me tell you a little of my mission here. It's equality of opportunity. That everyone, no matter who they are, where they come from, has great opportunities in life. The opportunity to learn, to have a meaningful and worthwhile job, to set up a business, to grow old in peace and security. I wouldn't be here today without the great opportunities I had in my life, such as going to a state grammar school in the West Midlands. But words like equality and opportunity are often bounded around without context or meaning. As a mental health doctor, I've worked in many different hospitals. I've seen people from all different walks of life. I know what a lack of opportunity looks like. Sadly, I've seen people without hope. People who can't aspire and achieve. Hamstrung in life by bad schools, no jobs, shabby housing, poor mental health, addiction. And when working as a doctor, I've supported people get back into work or get a decent place to live. It's often been better than any medicine I could prescribe. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sorry, it must be that the successes of those who dare to dream are only bounded by their industry and talents. Now, turning to today's debate, we have always taken the lead in the most pressing issues of our time. Today, it's our environment and climate change. Sadly, air pollution is high in Runnymede and Weybridge, driven by the motorways that crisscross the constituency, the flight paths that we live under. This bill will make strides to improve the health and well-being and secure our children's future. So now, from my office in Parliament, I can look back at St Thomas's Hospital. And when I do, I'm reminded that, well, things don't always go as you expect. But for many people, things don't go as they plan in life. We need a strong safety net of welfare and public services, such as our NHS, which I'm proud to have worked in for over 10 years. My wife continues to work in. Our public services need effective management, leadership and funding, paid for by a flourishing economy led by a strong Conservative government. Yeah. All this is why I'm a Conservative. This is why I'm here today. Thank you. Yeah.